Hi everyone. In the last videos we discussed how insulin is going to synthesis in beta cells of pancreas. In this video we will discuss about how insulin is going to release when blood glucose levels increases, right? So one of the basic point is whenever we take food, after digestion it converts into glucose. This glucose rich blood this glucose enters into blood. This glucose rich blood when reaches to beta cells of pancreas, then these beta cells will get activated and they release insulin. This insulin will absorb this blood into different cells, right? The point is when the blood contains more amount of glucose, then that glucose rich blood will reaches to beta cells of pancreas where they will release a hormone called insulin. This insulin will eventually absorb this glucose from the blood and stores in the body cells. Suppose this glucose is stored in RBC, red blood cells, and it is also stored in liver, sometimes also in brain, skeletal muscles, right? So the glucose from blood will be stored into different cells such as RBC, liver, brain and skeletal muscles, right? So for storing of this glucose into cells we need some transporters. Those transporters are called as glucose transporters. GLT means glucose transporters, right? So the glucose transporters which are located in RBC are called as glucose transporters 1. If they are located on liver, they are called as glucose transporters 2. If they are located on brain, they are called as glucose transporters 3, and glucose transporters 4 will be located in skeletal muscles. So most amount of glucose will try to store in skeletal muscles by the help of glucose transporter 4. Without these glucose transporters, insulin will not store this glucose into the cells, different type of cells or tissues. So this is the basic point which we have to remember before going to the exact topic. So now we will discuss how beta cells will stimulate and release insulin. Suppose, so just now we discussed food after entering into stomach, it will converts into glucose. This glucose will stimulate beta cells and they will release insulin. Now we will discuss exactly how beta cells will stimulate for the release of insulin, right? Suppose this is the beta cell in the resting stage. That means whenever the blood glucose levels are low, that time this cell will be in resting stage. So that means from this cell the amount of potassium will be going out. That means potassium inside of the cell will be going outside. That is, the positivity of the cell is decreasing and negativity of the cell is increasing. Whenever the negativity of a cell increases, then that cell will be in resting stage. Suppose at the starting point potassium levels decreases from the cell, that is they are moving out of the cell, right? So this is ADP sensitive, adenosine diphosphate sensitive, ADP mediated. By the help of ADP, this potassium kept on moving outside of the beta cell. So whenever this is happening, the beta cell will be more electronegative and it will be in resting stage, right? So keep this aside. Now when glucose rich blood reaches to beta cells, then what is going to happen we will discuss. So I already discussed there are different type of glucose transporters which will eventually move glucose into the cells. Suppose we will try a glucose transporter here. Right, so this is glucose transporter. It will capture the glucose in the blood and moves them into the cells, right? Now whenever it captures a glucose molecule, then it drags into the cells, right? So next, here I am showing that glucose molecules enter into the cell. This is glucose molecule. After entering into this cell, this glucose will be converted into glucose 6 phosphate by the help of the enzyme glucokinase. By the help of the enzyme glucokinase, glucose will be converted into glucose 6 phosphate. This glucose 6 phosphate will mitochondria, where it will goes through citric acid cycle and forms ATP. These are the energy molecules utilized by the cell. So whenever these ATP molecules are formed by the help of glucose by the process of glycolysis, this ATP will attaches to the potassium sensitive channel. So right, so this ATP will attach to this potassium sensitive channel. Whenever ATP attaches to this potassium sensitive channel, this channel will get closed, right? So whenever this channel kept closed, then there will be no outgoing of potassium. That means the cellular positivity will be increased. Slowly it is going to increase, but the point is, by this process more amount of positive ions cannot be increased here, right? So while the potassium stops going outside, then it leads to depolarization. That means there will be influx of positive ions from the outside of the cell by the help of calcium. The simple point is, at the starting stages, the potassium kept losing from the cell. That means electronegativity of this particular cell is going to increase. Electronegativity increases. That is in the resting stage. Whenever rich blood reaches to these beta cells, by the help of glucose transporters, it will enter into cell. After entering into cell, this glucose will be converted into glucose 6 phosphate. This glucose 6 phosphate enters into mitochondria and forms ATP. These ATP will block the potassium sensitive channels. Whenever these potassium sensitive channels will be blocked, then it leads to depolarization of the cell. That means more amount of positive ions will kept adding to the cell. Whenever this positivity increases, that means more amount of calcium ions will increase in this cell. That will make a drastic change in the cell. That is, in this particular cell, the insulin will be stored in the granules. Right? This is the insulin molecule along with zinc. Insulin is stored along with zinc molecule. So this calcium enters into these granules and they will release insulin along with C peptide. Sometimes there may be chances of releasing pro-insulin also, right? So these all molecules will come out of this cell, and they will help in storage of glucose. That means they will decreases blood glucose level. So this is the exact mechanism what is happening when blood gets more amount of glucose. The insulin which is released here will again decreases the blood glucose levels by absorbing them into the different cells. That may be RBC, liver, brain or skeletal muscles, right? Okay. Till now we had seen the food which enters to stomach will be converted into glucose. This glucose rich blood, when reaches to beta cells, they will get activated and releases insulin, right? So till now we had seen how insulin is going to release from activated beta cells. Now we will discuss the exact mechanism how this released insulin enters into blood and it will helps in absorption of glucose from the blood and stores it in the tissues. Okay, so insulin is a hormone and it will not directly stores the glucose from the blood. It needs a separate mechanism, although it needs one receptor, right? So I will draw a diagram which represents this insulin mechanism. Think that this is a skeletal muscle. At the starting of the video, we discussed that there are many types of glucose transporters. Suppose insulin is storing glucose in the skeletal muscles, then it requires a glucose transporter, that is glucose transporter 4. Okay, keep it aside. Now insulin is released in the blood and it has to show its action. For the action of insulin, it needs a receptor which shows its action based on enzymatic substrate molecule process. So this is the insulin receptor. When insulin reaches to this receptor gets activated and it gets phosphorylation. This phosphorylation of intracellular side of the receptor will attract another molecule called as IRS. IRS means insulin receptor substrate molecule, right? So when these IRS molecules attracted by these intracellular membrane, these IRS will also get phosphorylated, right? So whenever this IRS molecule gets phosphorylated, they will activate secondary messengers. Here we say those secondary messengers as PIP2, phosphatidyl inositol bisphosphate, which will convert into PIP3, phosphatidyl inositol triphosphate. So these secondary molecules will get activated. Whenever these secondary messengers get activated, they will influence the DNA for release of messenger RNA. So mRNA is released, a specific mRNA is released by the help of these secondary messengers. Whenever this messenger RNA releases, it will produce some proteins. These proteins use the exact mechanism what insulin is going to do. That is, these proteins will move extracellularly these substances. These substances is called as glucose transporters, right? So these glucose transporters primarily they are located in the cytosol of the skeletal muscles, right? So whenever these specific proteins formed, these specific proteins will move these glucose transporters to the membrane of the particular cell. So whenever these moves to the membrane of the particular cell, they will form like this. So they have little bit pores, so they will move to the membrane. These molecules, when they move to the membrane, they will attract the glucose. They will attract the glucose molecules which are freely moving the blood. So whenever this glucose enters into these glucose transporters, this glucose transporter is GLT4, because this glucose transporter is located on skeletal muscle. If this cell is RBC, then the glucose transporter will be GLT1. So this glucose enters into skeletal muscle. This glucose molecule here, it will be stored or it will be utilized for the purpose of skeletal muscle. This glucose stores there. If it has to be utilized, then it will convert into glucose 6 phosphate. From here they will produce ATP. This ATP utilized for cellular functions, right? So this is the exact mechanism which is happening during the storage of glucose from the blood. So this whole process will happen every day in our life. Whenever we take food, it will be converted into glucose. That glucose rich blood, when reaches to beta cells, that they will release insulin. That insulin will binds to its specific receptor and follows this all process, and they will move glucose transporters to the membranes, and they will absorb all the glucose into the cell and they will store there. If the blood has less amount of glucose, then the beta cells will not get activated for the release of insulin, and insulin will not be released. In that case, the alpha cells will be released, which will release glucagon. That glucagon will take out the stored form of glucose in the cells, right? So this is all about release and mechanism of insulin. In the next video, we will discuss about diabetes. Thank you very much.